Paper filter for the Aeropress versus metal filter for the Aeropress. Which is better? Let's talk about it today. So I've got here today on FrenchPressCoffee.com 2 filter types for the Aeropress. And the Aeropress is one of my absolute favorite ways to make an awesome cup of coffee, and it's probably the favorite way for many of you guys out there in TV coffee land, right? But there's a couple different filter options for the Aeropress, and as I say, I've got paper and I've got metal. Now what I have here is the Reusable coffee disc filter, and there's 2 of these, 2 types. We have the standard and we have the fine, and we'll talk about the differences in a minute. I think you can kind of probably tell from the name what the difference are, but let's talk about kind of some pros and cons between the 2 of these. It's sort of subjective when you come right down to it. Paper, first of all, paper comes, of course, with the Aeropress, and you get a lot of these, and it's pretty cost effective because you can get 350 of these in a pack of filters. That could last you for potentially nearly a year. The paper filter is also going to be a little faster when you're making coffee, especially in the morning, because cleanup is really easy with a paper filter and an Aeropress. You just pop out the spent filter and coffee, and you're done. It's going to produce basically a cleaner cup of coffee. There's going to be less coffee oils, less cafestol and kaweol. We talked about those in some other videos. If you're someone who's worried about cholesterol with your coffee and coffee oils, it's going to cut down on that. And additionally, it's just going to make a cleaner cup because there's going to be less sediment, possibility for coffee grit, things along those lines. So the paper has some distinct pros. Its cons, it's maybe not as green, obviously, it's paper, so it is using trees. And it's, maybe a little less convenient depending on what you're doing, because if you are traveling, you have to take paper filters with you. And if you run out, that would be a little bit of a drag. And I know I've taken paper filters with me a lot on trips with my Aeropress. And so it'd be kind of nice to have a different option. So that takes us to the metal filter option for the Aeropress. Now the metal filter from Reusable is a really cool option for the Aeropress for a few different reasons. First of all, it's definitely going to be easier on those of you who are traveling with an Aeropress. Like I say, I love to travel with my Aeropress because I really don't like coffee makers in hotel rooms, and I travel a lot, and the Aeropress gives me an awesome cup of coffee, but I'm not crazy about carrying around paper filters. So if I just have to carry the one filter, that's pretty nice. Your carry around at that point is essentially just this, and you can put the Aeropress together and boom, you're good to go. So that's probably my favorite pro of this. Additionally, it's going to create a bit of a richer cup of coffee because it's not going to filter out those oils and etc. that the paper would usually filter out. This is going to be a little greener when you come right down to it. Greener meaning it's better for the earth because again, we're not using paper. This is also going to be better for making teas like rooibos tea. If you're going to be making a really strong tea of some kind, it's nice to use metal instead of paper. It's going to be a little bit easier on your brew. But let's talk about the cons. The cons are one that I actually already mentioned, which is it's not going to filter out those oils. If you want to get rid of those oils, you're going to want to use paper. The Reusable metal filter is going to cost a little bit more. And finally, there's those 2 types. We have the standard and we have the fine, and the fine is a little bit harder to brew with. You have to press a lot harder to get the water through the fine filter. So it's a little bit of a con. And then the cost, these cost a little bit more, but really we're not talking about too much, especially for the ease and convenience that you get with a metal Reusable filter. And we do, of course, have the Reusable metal filter at FrenchPressCoffee.com, and there are other metal filter options for the Aeropress. This is just one of the ones that we're talking about because it is a really great option if you're looking to use a metal filter with your Aeropress. So the question is, which one is better? What do you guys think? Well, personally, I would say that neither one is necessarily better. I would want to have both. Because remember, there are some pros and cons between each of these, but ultimately it would be really useful to have both, especially if you're traveling. This is really awesome for travel. This is really awesome for at home, and it's great for easy cleanup and for filtering out those oils. This is a little better for the earth. Obviously, it's great for travel, and it's going to give you a really nice, bold cup of coffee. So really, honestly, I would say keep both because it's relatively inexpensive for either. You can get both of these at FrenchPressCoffee.com, obviously. and they're going to pair really nicely with the Aeropress, which is, of course, one of the most awesome ways to make a really, really great cup of French press coffee. So there you have it, guys. That's a little bit pro and con side-by-side comparison between the Able metal coffee filter and most coffee filters, metal coffee filters in general, for the Aeropress, and of course the paper filters that we're all used to and we all know and love for the Aeropress. Hope you guys found that useful. Make sure to visit us at FrenchPressCoffee.com.
So did you like that video? If so, go ahead and give us a like, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel. It's okay, I'll wait. Come on. It's all right. Awesome, great. Thank you so much. And now for a great coffee quote. Remember that a yawn is actually just a silent scream for coffee.